Let me tell you one of the reasons that I'll make it short and sweet. Let's say a traditional mandate such as I want to go long Europe. I'm going to buy 50 stocks. I have to buy Swiss francs, euro-based stocks, and British pounds because I want to trade them on their domestic exchanges. You want to see Bitcoin at $100,000? You got to let the regulator determine what terms they'll allow it to go into an ETF. It's that simple. Look what happened in Canada. They got $1 billion demand in a matter of hours in just the first Bitcoin product.
So what is your prediction for where we will be 10 years from now in the crypto space, since it's going to change everything?
Let me tell you one of the reasons that I'll make it short and sweet. Let's say a traditional mandate such as I want to go long Europe. I'm going to buy 50 stocks. I have to buy Swiss francs, euro-based stocks, and British pounds because I want to trade them on their domestic exchanges. In between me and that transaction is what's called the bane of the earth, the FX trader, the currency trader, who clips me every time I buy and sell, adds zero value, and sucks friction out of the system and has my entire adult life as I've traded through. I can't wait until we solve this problem and give them a new career, shining shoes, because they add no value whatsoever. This is where DeFi could take us on just one use case, but it's a multi-billion-dollar one. And I want to be alive to have a regulator domestically allow me a payment system to a Swiss franc back and forth if I want to trade it 50 times a day with zero FX traders. That's my mission in life, to help them find a real job. You know, I was a very vocal non-advocate back in 2017 because I'm forced to live in a world. I service pension funds and institutions with indexing. We are 100% compliant 100% of the time. So I changed when the regulator changed, and I'm very interested in crypto now as an asset class. And in my world, let's say you're running a $1 billion mandate, which is a typical mutual fund or ETF or whatever. And generally, if you're compliant with your own compliant department, there's 11 sectors in the S&P, for example. You're allowed to go up to 20% in any one sector and up to 5% in any one name. That's generally how it works. I argue today that crypto is the 12th sector of the S&P. That's what it is. It doesn't mean I have to have everything in Bitcoin, and I don't want to have everything in Bitcoin. I want to have a portfolio of crypto, coin, chain, tokens, whatever is compliant. And what's going to happen here, and what we need to do, and why I'm so happy we have these dialogues and these conferences, think about, but it took me months just to get my first purchase done on Circle, with my own compliance department barking at me like a dog saying, no, we can't do this. And I'm saying, we got to do it. We got to get there. We have to figure it out. And my auditor and the regulated reports we put out. And it's working. Same with Sam. I want to build a portfolio on FTX, because it's big enough that I can be compliant. And I'm saying to everybody on this, if we solve this, there's trillions of dollars coming into this in the 12th sector of the S&P. That's what it's going to be. So that's our job. We got to solve for compliance. It's boring, but it really matters.
Kevin, did you have any thoughts on the Coinbase news last week?
About regulators?
The regulators.
Yeah. I would make this comment. Somehow over the last, 2 years, the popular press positioned the crypto community as an adversary to regulators globally. And that's simply not true. And it's very stupid because probably some large percentage of the constituency in this room is somehow tied to financial institutions one way or another. And we have not even tapped, it's so nascent. There's so many institutions that don't even play in this space, although they want to. And the primary reason is their compliance departments and the tone of that relationship between the crypto community and the regulator. And every week we hear another case of somebody in a position of power, let's call it that, that's running a large crypto company, striking out at the regulator. Really bad idea. Like, there is zero upside in that, because the regulator wants to solve for this, because this, and I'll say it again, it's going to be the 12th sector, the S&P. There's no question about it. It's not going away, and the demand is huge. You want to see Bitcoin at $100,000? You got to let the regulator determine what terms they'll allow it to go into an ETF. It's that simple. Look what happened in Canada. They got $1 billion demand in a matter of hours in just the first Bitcoin product. And it wasn't even institutional. It was just simply retail saying, oh, it must be safe. I can buy it and put it in my account online, and the regulator said it's okay. So my thing is, as a community, we have to form a lobby voice and say, we are here to serve and protect, just like you are. Give us the rules so we can go back and play football. That's simple.
Kevin, tell us a little bit about WonderFi and how you see a roadmap for bringing DeFi from this sort of early stage to something where a consumer can actually go and get a loan or do some financial service without going through traditional intermediary.
Well, what I hope WonderFi becomes, and I'm very proud of it, the genesis of it is that it's a use case. In our operating company, about 18 months ago, we reduced our exposure to commercial real estate, and it generated a lot of cash. And we went to our cash desk and said, what can we do on short duration? And they said 20 basis points, 21 basis points. Inflation is 2%. So that was the first time I said, wait a minute, this isn't going to work. And we started to look at platforms like FTX and Circle to try and solve for that. That's what got me into stable coins, because we started to explore that. But if you're a consumer and you're 18 years old and you're making zero in your bank of whatever account, and you want to actually get some yield that keeps pace with inflation, you can't do, it's not easy to set yourself up unless you're really out there in the crypto community, how to set up a wallet or anything else. It's attempting to simplify it. Now, I'm very fortunate. I have a very large social media following. I'm getting a lot of feedback from our base. Josh Richards, who's a phenom on TikTok, is an investor, as well as Sam. I think he supports the democratization of this. And we're very excited about where this is going. But it's really about simplifying it and making it really easy. I mean, we're all tuned and excited about crypto, but it's not easy to use, and it's nearly impossible to be compliant. You cannot afford not to disclose your capital gains and your income, if any, to the tax man. I don't care if you're 18 or 84. I'm the compliant guy. I live in that world saying, okay, how do we get the forms out? How do we get the 1099s? How do we make sure these people never get in trouble? That's the value of WonderFi.